Hello. In the last video, we discussed about the variables, data types, and we did some inputs and output operations. We will look into operators and expressions in C. Since the operators allows us to do operations like mathematical operations and logical operations, and we can do comparisons using these operations. So let's look into how we can do operations and what type of operators are and expressions are there in C. So operators are symbols which tell the compiler to perform specific operation on one or more two operands. The operand can be a variable or a number or constant. So, for example, uh, plus is an operator. So we in the previous video we did some calculations, right? So when we write x plus 5, that means something, right? It performs a arithmetic addition. So this is the plus is here. The plus is the operator, and x and 5 are operands, which on which these operation plus is done. Okay, let's look into different types of operator. Arithmetic operators are used to perform mathematical operations. For example, the operators are plus, minus. This is division. This is multiplication. This is the modulus operation. So these are operators in C. You might you will know what these are, or the plus, minus, division, and multiplication are very common, and the plus, minus, division, and multiplication you are familiar with. But this one looks like a percentage, but it's operation used for it is very different. It's a modulus operation. So what does it mean? Let's do some examples with all these operations. Like, let's do some arithmetic operations. Let me declare some variables, some x, which can be assigned as 8. It's just a number, and xy equal to 4, 2. Then the next line, printf addition. This you have already done. That is percentage d, and I print this in the new line, and the value is x plus y. So let's try to save it and compile it. gcc operator.c, and the output is operator.exe. Yeah, the file operator.exe is here. So let's execute that one. So see, x plus 5, it's 10. Now similarly, let's do the other operations. Then subtraction, which is x minus y. So x and y are operands here, and minus is the operator here. Save it and compile it again. You get the result. Similarly, we can perform division. I will do it. Multiply, divide, x star. It's the operator, and save it. Compile the code. Execute the exe file. So 8 into 2 is 16. 8 by 2 is 4, and so the division is also done. So let's look into the modulus operand. So it works like this: x and modulus operator, and save it, compile it, execute it. So x mod y, that is 8 mod by mod 2, which is it's taking whether 8 is divisible by 2. So that that means the remainder is 0. So that's what mod does. So That's it. That's the mathematical or arithmetic operations. The next one is relational operator. So the relational operator, what it does, some of the relational operators are less than, greater than, and less than or equal to. So let me write it down here. Less than, greater than, then less than or equal to, then greater than or equals. So then we have equals. This is equal to. It will compare whether operands are these all operators work around two operands. So it checks whether the left side is equal to the right side. Then we have not equal to. So these are the logical operators. So let's see what are the outputs when we do a logical operation. So we have already declared the variables x and y here. So we perform the same perform this operation on the same x and y. X less than y, and semicolon. Save it. Compiling, running. Yeah, less than. So this returns 0. So x is 8. 8 is not less than. So that means 0 means no. And if I give it as this here, less than is 1. So that means it's true. So x is greater than y. So this is greater than and less than. Similarly, we can use greater than or equal to. So this is a relational operation. It will return true or false. That is 1 or 0. Then the next type of operator, it's logical operator. Logical operator. So the logical operators are and, or, not. So these are logical operators. So this is used when we need to compare something, like if x suppose we have a variable named age. We need to check whether the candidate is suitable for a job interview. So we need to check whether this candidate's age is in between this particular category. So for that we can use this scenario. So we need to check whether the age is between maybe 18 and 45 or 55. So let's check how we can do it. Let's declare a variable age. I will remove the other examples here and declare age equal to something. Okay, and let me check whether age is less than or equal to 18. So when we print this, it will return true or false. That means %d, age less than 18. Yeah. So when I compile this, and run it, I will get error printf. Yeah. So when I compile and run it, eligibility is 0. So it's taking that age is, if age is less than or equal to 18. No, the age is 23. It is not less than or equal to. So it is greater than 18, right? So we need to check whether it's less than 55, right? So When I compile it, the eligibility is true. But if age is 15, what happens? This is an example. When I run this code, what happens? The eligibility become true, right? Because the age 15 is less than 55. But in our case, our scenario, what we need to check if the age should be greater than 18, and as well as it should be less than 55. So in that case, we can use this logical operator. So we will do the code like this: if age is greater than or equal to 18, and age is less than or equal to 55. So in this case, let's check whether our code runs. Let me clear that. And here you can see the eligibility is 0 because age is not greater than 18. And when I change that to 23 and compile and execute the code, eligibility is 1. If I change the code as 60, what happens? Yeah, eligibility is 0. That means our code is working as intended. So this is logical operator. The next type of operator is assignment operator. So these operators we have already seen in the example, that is equal to. The simple one is equal to. So when we declare a variable a, and we assign a value to it using this equal to operator, that is a equal to 5. We can do it like this, or we can later define it like this: a equal to 5. This is also possible, a equal to 0, then we assign the value to it. That is also possible. This is the simplest assignment operator. So there are in this example I have written some other operators also. These are all shorthand assignment operators. So this is what do you mean by shorthand? Like if you want to add some value to this, that is a equal to a plus 1, right? So this can be written like this. So let's see what's the output of it. So let me print the value of a in each step, right? Okay, like percentage d comma a. So let me write down the same code again and again, and run the compile, then execute the code. So let's clear it in a /n, which will make our code make our output more readable. Let's compile it again. Each time when I do a change to the code, I need to compile it. So here you can see a is now 0. That is, in the first scenario we declared a and assigned the value to it, that is a equal to 0. That is printed here. Then we assigned 5 and that is printed here. Then we did this operation, that is a equal to a plus 1. What does it mean? Whatever the value of a in the current line, what is the value of a, we declare it as 5, and we add 1 to it and assign that new value into the variable a again. So this is what it is done here, a equal to a plus 1, and that is printed here. That is 5 plus 1 is 6. That is the final a. Now let's use this code. This is the increment operator, this one, shorthand increment operator, which is a plus equal to 1. Okay, now let's print a. So what happens? Added 1 to 5, then a is 6, and at this line a is 6, then we add 1 again to 6. So as I mentioned, the result should be 7, right? So the a is now 7. So we make sure that you save the code before compiling. Right. Similarly, if I change the value, let's see, a minus equal to instead of 1, let's add a maybe 5 and print it, compile, execute. Now 7 minus 5 is 2. So this is what shorthand operators. Now let's look into another operator, increment operator. Assignment operators, these are the assignment operators. So similarly, we have increment operator and we have decrement operator. This is the decrement operator. So how does it work? Let's see. Let's move code. Combine, execute it. So a is now 0. Let's say increment something. So a plus plus. So after this, print it, execute compile the code and execute it. So here you can see a is now 0, then a is now 1. So what happened? A is incremented by 1. So this is incrementation operator. So what it does is that it increments 1 with that value. So this can be written, there is another operator called decrement operator, as I mentioned earlier. So the decrement operator, let's do the code. It is written like this: a minus minus. Save it. Let's see what's the answer. Compile. See, initially it was 0, then we incremented to 1, then it is again, we use the decrement operator, it was again 0. So if I did this 2 times, what happens? See, it goes to minus 1. So this is increment and decrement operator. So when the increment and decrement operator can be used after the operand or before the operand. What I mean is that this is a valid example. What I did is a valid example. Another example is it can be done as minus minus. So it can be written as plus plus a and minus minus a. See the difference? Earlier it was written as a plus plus. Now it's written as plus plus a. So let's check the output. Compiling it and running it. So here what happens? A is 0. We incremented it, then decremented it, and it is minus 1. Then what happens? We again incremented it, right? Minus 1 plus 1 is 0. Then again we decremented it. It's now minus 1. What's the difference between plus plus a and minus a plus plus? That's we are going to see now. So let's see it using this example. I will remove all this, make the code simpler. See, I will write it here like this: a plus plus. Okay, I'll write it here. So what I have written, I declared a variable a, assigned a value 0 to it, then printed the value, it would be 0, right? Then I incremented that variable, then I'm trying to print it, but at the time of printing, I'm writing a plus plus instead of just printing a. Let's see the output. See what happens? In the first line, it's 0. In the second line, in this second statement, I have incremented it, so it's 1 now, right? Then I again, instead of printing directly, I did an incrementation operator like a plus plus. So logically, what happens is that the a is used first, that is a is printed first, and then incremented. So at this line, here, let me make it clear. see at the second print statement, it's just printed 1 because it is used first. That is, a is used first and then it is incremented. So at the third line you can see the final value of that a. But if I write it like this, plus a, so at that time the a incrementation operation is done first, and let's see the output. See, initially it was 0, then it was incremented to 1, then it was again incremented to 2, and the result is printed. Then the final value is also printed. The final value is 2. So this is the difference between the increment operator, if it's pre-incremented or it's post-incremented. So if it's pre-incremented, that is this one, plus a. The increment operation is done first, and then the variable is used. But in this case, plus a, the variable is initially used and then incremented. Here we have only one operation here. So even if you write plus a or a plus, it doesn't signify. But in this case of using inside a print statement or any other operations, this plus and a plus, that makes a difference.